I got that tractor beam out of commission, or this is going to be a real short trip. Okay, hit it!
Here we are.
Hey.
Another unboxing.
Mhm.
This time I finally got something.
Wow, Matt, your mic just went to shit. Let's talk for a little bit.
Did it mess up?
For a second, for a little bit, it sounded like you were kind of muffled. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it could be. We always have someone always has internet issues, so it could be that.
It's only 2021. We're not there yet.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously.
Not yet. Almost.
But yeah, I'm gonna start cracking into this. So just so everyone knows in the chat, I'm gonna open the Gamorrean fighter, and if you'd like, I have the TIE fighter pilot, the NYC TIE fighter pilot. So if you want me to open that, I can. Otherwise, I'll just open it off air. But like it's kind of behind me, so I can do it if we want to. Steve, you said the Gamorrean fighter is kind of a quick one.
Yeah, I mean, there's no switch outs.
There's nothing much to it.
You do have to assemble the base.
Oh, that's right.
That'll add about a good minute of riveting footage.
Shoot,
to the
I
live
totally
stream.
forgot about that.
You need a Phillips screwdriver for that.
Okay, I'll get that in a minute. Okay. All right, I'm gonna open this thing.
Matt was asking me a minute ago, do I have anything else coming in the mail? And I spaced. I forgot. Yeah, the Rancor is coming in the mail. So, so I think the Rancor is going to show up, and then it's going to be pretty slim pickings for a while.
Well, and it's the #1 Rancor.
The #1. That's right.
That's impressive.
Yeah, other people might claim to have #1. Bullshit. I'm getting #1.
Trigger finger Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fast on the draw. All right. So I have to admit, I picked this up when they dropped this off. I picked it up outside of my door, and it almost hit the ceiling because I was like, "This thing's not. There's no weight to this thing." Yeah. And I was surprised, super surprised. I was like, "This can't." Like, did you drop off an Amazon thing? Like, what is this?
So now you have do you have the Jabba? The Jabba Maquette?
No.
Okay. Now you're going to learn what a Regal robot maquette feels like. The material that they make it out of, I think it's some sort of resin, and how light the things are.
Right.
They really are.
This is cool. It doesn't. A little green.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm not saying it's necessarily bad or anything. It's just they're light, and it takes you have to get used to that.
It's kind of cool.
In case people are wondering, Jason is a little bit limited in his ability to talk tonight. So this should be a much better show than it usually is. But he's going to be a little bit more quiet tonight. Okay.
003.
Well done.
So very insignificant, but it's a early number, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you said I do have to screw the Gamorrean guard into this thing.
Yeah. What do you think of the base?
Yeah. Like it's a base. Like I think it's a kind of a shame that it's not going to match some of the other Regal robot stuff. I get why they did it, Jason. You said they did it because it actually matches the original. So I get that. I understand that. I mean, whatever. It's fine.
I like the base. I like it.
No, it's cool. I'm sure with the green it'll look really nice too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people expected or preferred, black for continuity.
Yeah, most of the frames and stuff that I use are black, but I do have some brown. I don't know. I think it looks really good, so I'm happy with that. How many people?
Works with the color of the.
Yeah.
In the chat, we got some people in the chat.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. And run through those. So let's see who's in tonight. So we got Danny Lee has joined us. Good to see you, Danny. We got Caesar, Pamerica, Ben. Good to see everybody. Chris is out there. Okay, so hey, Chris. Chris is working right now, so that's why he's not here tonight.
Oh, that's right.
And Ken is out there. And let's see. Oh, the Traveling Jedi just joined us, and Sean. Very good. Oh, well, there we go. There's the. Let me put you on full screen.
Yeah. So he's got the. Obviously has the screw that you have to unscrew and stick in.
Yeah, that was nerve-wracking. I kept expecting his leg to split apart as I was putting the screw back in. You okay there, Matt?
Very light. But still cool looking.
Yeah, watch the leg break off.
I know, right? But no, it's cool looking. Like it's painted well. I think it's tough. These are difficult to talk about because they're concept pieces, right? I mean,
yeah.
Jason, you've mentioned this before that they're just different. They're not statues. They're not like they're different.
Correct.
It's a concept piece, and so yeah, it's a little lighter. It's rough. It's like the actual sculpt is rough, but that's how they made it, right? I mean, that's
all by design, yeah, intended.
Yeah. He can kind of stand up on his own there.
Like the Jabba Maquette, Steve mentioned, that I think is such a niche piece that both aesthetically and just as a concept piece. If that's like something you grab just out of curiosity or want to add into your collection and you use the statues or other things.
Let's see if I can get it to focus on this thing.
Yeah.
It's a real difficult piece to understand. So I think this is similar. A lot of people, again, the paint and, it's kind of similar to the helmets that we talk about, Matt. You're used to something idealized. I mean, look at a Black Series helmet. You buy it for $100. It's hefty. It's got some weight to it. The lines and paint are perfect.
Yeah. Right.
Machine line precision. And then you get a custom made helmet that's screen accurate. And the thing weighs nothing. It seems like it's janky and garbage, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this.
So Matt, far from Death Star, is asking, is that quarter scale-ish?
I mean,
no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
See, it's about 11.5 inches.
Yeah.
To me, it feels honestly, it feels like 1/6 scale to me.
Yeah. So Chris had put his up next to some Mando hot toys that he has, and it fit right in. So it really does feel like it's 6 scale.
Yeah. Which doesn't bother me. I wasn't buying this thing to get. Yeah, the scale didn't bother me. I wasn't expecting much of anything. Honestly, with the concept pieces, I don't expect a certain scale, a certain like super nice looking piece. I expect it to be concept looking.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to. I mean, if it's a concept piece, you don't want it to be idealized. You want it to have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think the trouble that I think Regal Robot's going to have is that there's going to be plenty of people that pick this up thinking it's a statue. That they're like, oh, cool, like it's a Gamorrean fighter statue from The Mandalorian, and because it's a concept piece, they might get this and be like, well, this is not what I was expecting. It's not like finished. It doesn't look like super finished, right? Like super detailed and finished. And that's, I think, that could be a concern for them that they might. I don't know. What do you think?
I have no issue at all with the paint. I love the paint.
No, I think it looks. I'm just saying. Yeah. I think
it's different than you would. Then yes, it's different than a statue.
It's different.
It's not like a high gloss like a statue usually is, right?
You know what it feels like to me. This again looks like. It looks up close like what kind of like what the Mythos pieces, the original ones, look like, where it looks like kind of rough a little bit, but it still has some details.
Is this This is hand sculpted, right? Jason.
The original was hand sculpted, yes.
But was the maquette 3D printed or
The maquette was cast on the original, I believe.
cast? Okay.
Yeah, they had the one that we've all seen on John Favreau's Instagram page.
Yeah.
So it came from that one. If you put them next to each other, it's just a verbatim copy.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say is the face is that's where I think people might look at it and go, I don't know. That's where it's a little more rough to me. But again, I'm not saying that it needs to be better. I'm saying that that's probably from the original sculpt, right? So it doesn't bother me because I know it's a concept piece. I get it. So
there's got some really cool scarring on him. You know, you can tell
on his back.
Right.
On his back has scarring.
Back on Solo again.
His back has like the scars here.
Yeah, and then the front there's a big scar as well, right on his breast.
Yeah.
And
his arms.
It's really cool how his trapezius muscles, I think is what these are, by his neck, are just so big. He's got just such a powerful looking neck. It's a great design, and I tell you, they really screwed up in Rogue One when they put a couple of people inside of a green
Mandalorian
Mandalorian. Did I say
Mandalorian?
Yeah, Mandalorian. I hated those on-screen Gamorreans.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
bad.
I agree. They were a little bit.
If they looked like this,
I know. I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
What happened? How did they go from this maquette to what showed up on screen? Was it a budget thing, you think?
Well, again, okay. So remember when we did the Java maquette video, Steve? And did we pull up the old vintage footage of them scrolling by all the older pieces?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when they're in the shop there, sculpting things. Like even Grogu or the baby was sculpted by Tony as well, who did the Gamorrean Fighter. So conceptually, these are ideas that they're sculpting and saying, okay, do you want to go with this? Do you want to go with that? So I'm assuming, as somebody who worked on Return of the Jedi, he was trying to go with something close, species-wise. Give it the pot belly and give it that look. So from concept to screen, just like the Java, what we see is concept versus what we see on screen are two different things. So I mean,
usually though, Jason, whenever I've seen concept art, what wound up on screen looks better. Improves. Yes. Generally speaking, I can't think of any examples where it got worse. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but in this case, it's a huge difference between what this thing looks like and what. I mean, the guys on screen really looked like people with pig masks on. Really, it was terrible.
One of the things I thought, and this was just my opinion from watching, because when I saw it, it was a bit jarring as well, because you expect a Gamorrean guard from what
guys. I'm gonna get a screwdriver real quick, okay?
Again, this is just my own opinion, but I thought, okay, well, if you look at the Gamorrean from Return of the Jedi, or even in the concept, putting that outfit, so it's not like a slow fight or a very subtle fight. They're fighting quite aggressively. So I'm wondering if it was a matter of limitations by putting them in a costume of that size. Because
I mean, okay, so maybe they got to put some CG in there, right?
Yeah, they looked silly. I mean,
they really.
We all have our mind's eye. Almost anybody who thinks of a Gamorrean is going to think of, I mean, they get a pig face for a face. So you expect robust and fullness, and these guys had literally chicken legs, and they were fighting each other.
Think about the Gamorreans from Return of the Jedi. All right, it was the product of its time, right? But they were large and disgusting, and they kind of made sense. Their physique made sense for a guard. All right, now go to this maquette, and it's definitely close enough to Return of the Jedi that you see the continuity there, but you can see so much more athletic and tone and everything. You can tell that what he does is he fights for a living, right? So that looks consistent. And then now go to what's on screen in The Mandalorian. And it's like, what is this?
It literally looks like the body of humans. Yeah, it throws it off. It looked really strange. It did, and
Yeah.
I do wonder because they didn't drop the ball too many times during that series, but that was one that was enough to be jarring.
Yeah. Truxloff's historical art says John Favreau in green paint would have been better.
He's right. All jokes aside, actually,
he's got more weight on him for sure than those guys did. You know, if you think about all of the Mandalorian, that's probably the only thing that they didn't execute well on. I think everything else that they've done, solid execution all the way through. That's why I'm happy to have this, because this to me is what it could have been. It's so much superior, and here we got it. We got it right there in the maquette form.
Yeah, and there's not going to be any other representation of the Gamorreans outside of Return of the Jedi. So this is a great thing to have. Yeah, that has to thread all the way through. So you just use your screwdriver, Matt. I gotta say, I know they're really different and outside the box, but I love the concept pieces.
Yeah, it's really cool to have them. You know, let's talk about price for a minute, right? This was $600?
Approximately, yeah, give or take. Okay. Shipping, maybe a little bit more.
So I don't know how much production cost. There's no way production costs $600. Mm-hmm. So what you're paying for is a license fee, access to the lineage, access to the archive and the lineage, right? At the end of the day, Jason, your opinion, do you think that this is worth $600?
That's difficult, because my opinion is, I can see why people wouldn't think so, but if I don't want to draw out the answer either. Or off the top of my head, yes, I do, only because it's one of those things where I like the fact that it's coming straight from the real McCoy, and you're getting all the uniqueness and flaws and telltale signs that go along with that. And to me, if I am going to invest a little bit of extra money, I want to make sure it has that. So yeah, if you're bringing it down from a matter of materials and those type of costs like manufacturing, production.
Regal Robot looks like Regal Robot's on, and he's correcting us. It was $499, $500.
Oh,
okay. So that's
I wasn't sure if it was that.
That's a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, I was gonna say give or take with shipping, but I just think all around price wise, I think it was a good price point for size. And again, the type of stuff that comes along with those pieces is definitely important to me. But as I was saying before, and that was a good interruption, definitely to correct the price. But if you're looking at it from a perspective, if you're looking at it from, sorry, I'm
sorry, Jason. I meant go ahead, keep going.
Oh, if you're looking at it as a perspective from just materials, then obviously I would easily say no. But
I like the base though. I like the base in green.
And that's what people have to. I mean, I know I fall into this trap all the time. When I look at something, I kind of try to do this mental math of how much it would have cost to make it, right? And you got to realize that how much it costs to physically make it is not all the costs that are involved in something like this, right? There's research, there's the access, there's access to the piece, there's licensing, and clearly there's some marketing as well, and things like that, right? And so all those things go into something like this. In my opinion, I feel like this should have been about $100 cheaper than it is. I feel like it's probably, for the scale that it's at, and for me, 400 would have been sweeter. I'm not put off by the 500,
right?
But I think 400. Matt, what are your thoughts on? On the price.
Again, I think Jason, I've talked to you about this with Regal Robot. I love everything Regal Robot does is amazing.
Yeah, isn't it true?
And it's hard not to throw down money for this stuff. I think the tough part about collectibles these days is, Tom and Regal Robot and anyone else that makes stuff, they're not competing against another company. right? We've talked about this, Jason. They're competing against
Yeah, technically it would be-
every single company out there. They're competing
yeah.
against customs. They're competing against everything because
Everybody, yeah.
everything is taking our money. And so we as collectors and addicts and freaking, junkies, we're sitting there going, well, where's my money? If
Where
I'm
should my
gonna,
resources go?
if I'm gonna buy this, I'm not gonna buy this, or I have these other payments. So you have to, the cost is so important with the piece. I mean, it's just so important to get it right, because it can turn a collector off in a second. And that's my that would be my concern with anything being quality versus and scale and all that stuff. It all goes into how a collector thinks about something. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind this price. Personally, it didn't bother me that much at all.
Yeah.
Especially with a good payment plan. I think
yeah, and I think Regal Robot just said that they now have a payment plan of $127 a month. So that's 4 payments. So
that's not bad. Good. That's not bad. And I would say for the cheaper, like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's cheap. I'm just saying that for the lower cost items that they sell, price wise, like with the not the quality of the statue, but the price. I think you're pretty. I mean, even with that payment plan, you're good. Like you don't have to worry about it. But if we're talking about a freaking Tauntaun, or we're talking about something else, that's where any collector is going to look at it and go, well, think about the amount of things I can buy for that price. It has to be worth it. That's all I'm saying. It has to be
worth it. The Tauntaun, I can't remember if that was sculpted by Phil, like the repro of or that was another casting or what. I don't remember all the details. I bought that Tauntaun a long time ago when it first came out.
Right.
I had seen it. Adam Savage, I think, either Adam or the other guy who's on his show that he does Untested.
Norm. Yeah.
Sorry?
Norm?
Yeah, or Norm had been talking to somebody and was showing it off. And I went out and I bought it. And at the time, I was mostly a Hot Toys collector at the time. Right? So I got the Maquette in, and my initial reaction was, wow, this is light. And then the snow base looked like it was unpainted. And the Tauntaun itself looked like it had a coat of primer on it. I couldn't quite tell what was on it. And ultimately, I was disappointed with it. If that Tauntaun had been painted like this guy, I think I would have loved it.
Well,
but the reality is the original I don't think was painted.
Well, and that's the thing where we've we've also talked about this 1,000 times. It's like customer education, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this with a lot of other products, and it really does come down to making sure people understand that it is a concept piece. You can label it, you can name it a concept piece all day long, but some people are going to miss it, and not understand exactly what it is. And so, like, I think understanding, like, going through that more is going to be helpful. Because I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it looking like this and feeling like this. If it's a concept piece, I get it.
That's important that you bring that up, Matt and Steve. I think Steve's example, particularly, where at the time you were primarily into Hot Toys. I think even Marvel, heavily. So that speaks volumes, as we kind of went back earlier in the episode as we first started, about the weight of it, the heft, the paints, and why it's the paint is intentionally flawed in certain areas, like the eyes aren't perfectly painted, and there's a reason for that. The little bit of the roughness, because you want to get an exact or as close to as you can for the Maquette. But the concept of the problem with that too is if you have somebody, like at one point, Steve, you were new to this and didn't have that knowledge or education. There are going to be people who don't know and are expecting a statue-like weight and paint style or idealized look, and get confused. The Tauntaun being a perfect example, where it was cast directly. Now, I had seen actual photos of the way the Tauntaun being, as you state, looking just primed, unpainted. and it was, again, like an exact mirror image of what was sitting in the workshop. See that, and again, you have to get to a point too where you understand this and you have that knowledge, because it can affect somebody's opinion or level of appointment or disappointment. But that's the type of stuff that gets me excited. But you're also talking to somebody who's been collecting for 20 years. Had I been new to it, and if I accepted that right out of the box,
I was coming at it from a totally different mindset, right? I was trying to start cracking into the replica field, and I wasn't ready for it. I clearly was not ready for that at that point in time, and I was disappointed. And so the thing you were talking about earlier, Matt, about people having expectations of what they're actually getting, and I think even Trexler here is saying that people have to do the research and understand it's not a statue. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are just like us. They're coming from a Hot Toys perspective. They've known a lot of Hot Toys, and they're just starting to dabble in these other things.
Yeah. If
you're coming from that, when you go to this, or you maybe have a couple statues, this is going to be very different. Okay.
Yeah.
But stop for a minute and think about what you have. You have an exact replica of the maquette, the concept maquette that was created for this. And it is hand painted, and for me, I love the painting on this thing. I really do. I love the hand sculpted look to it. Everything about this reminds me, just as Matt said a minute ago, the Mythos statues from Sideshow. That hand sculpted look, that hand painted look, without the over-the-top gloss paints that a lot of the statues have now. I really like this piece. The cost is probably, out of everything, the cost is my one drawback, but I really like this, and I like this more than the Java maquette.
Really?
The Java and Throne maquette. I like this one more. Well, first of all, it's significantly larger, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
It's
significantly hard to compare
larger.
the two.
But it is, but I do like this more than that. I mean, Jason, have you gotten yours yet?
I have not. No.
Okay. Matt, what do you think about it? I mean, ultimately, are you? What are your thoughts as you've been sitting there getting used to it?
I like it. I like it. It's nice. It's like you said, it's different. It's that concept piece. I personally wouldn't buy all the concept pieces from Regal Robot. That's just my opinion. Like
mm-hmm.
I really liked this one. I thought this one was really cool looking. But I don't think I would go for every like I didn't get the Java piece. The concept stuff is very different and it's special, and I think it takes a certain level of interest in that kind of stuff to want a piece like that. And so to me, like, I'm kind of going to be very picky about that.
Sure.
Line.
And you need to be, because of your space, right?
Right. I have to be picky about everything. But that said, is, I also don't know if I want personally in my own collection a bunch of concept pieces.
Sure.
That's just a very different thing, and I don't know if I want that. So, but there's so many people out there that love that idea. I mean, Jason, you're big on concept pieces, and
that's one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest things that drew me into Star Wars was
totally
the thought process, the aesthetic, the design, the concept. So you guys know I'm a huge McQuarrie fan. I can answer almost any question regarding McQuarrie and his art. Joe Johnston as well. There's something about that, the way they approached all of that, the design, and then just the team. Rick Baker and Tony and Phil. It's amazing. But also another thing to take into consideration, and here's where it gets tricky, especially when we talk about price point versus materials quality, because it does again come down to a matter of understanding what you're getting. So at the time of the Tauntaun release, that I think was one of Regal Robot's first pieces entering the arena of putting collectibles into collections. Now they had the furniture, they had other type of products that were amazing, and some, pieces that they had done custom or commissions, etc. But that was the first time it was sort of produced to a level where, hey, we have an editioned piece. This is what you're getting. This is, and for that's never really been done before, where you're getting something straight from the archives, and you have,
Right.
it's not just, oh, we hired this sculptor, or these guys are hot at the moment. Like, it's like, no, what you're getting is what was made for the movie originally. So nobody's ever done that before, and it was the first time. And I think not just Shusi, but I think a lot of people originally, there was no happy medium. You had people that were like smitten over it and over the moon, or people who were disappointed because they looked at it and they said, well, it seems unfinished, it seems very light, there's no heft, etc. And it took a little bit of time for that to sort of grow into the understanding of, okay, well, look what I'm getting overall. The lineage aspect of it, the signature, does add a nice touch. So now, fast forward, we got the Jabba Maquette concept, we got the Gamorrean concept, we have something like the Rancor, the Chewbacca busts, and many more pieces. And that's when you see them in person and you say, okay, well, we're dealing with a different beast here altogether.
And the price is different too. And I'm sure somebody will correct me, but if I remember correctly, the Tauntaun was at least 700, if not a little bit more.
Give or take, I think between 6 or 7. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I always have to factor in shipping.
Right.
As well. So
and Phil's involvement in it may have increased the cost. I don't know. But the maquettes are becoming more obtainable, I think, with the last two that have come out price wise, right?
Yeah.
So that's been nice.
Well, yeah.
And you're also not going to get anybody. I mean, I know we say this a lot, but it's true. You're not going to get anybody else that. The thing that's, everybody says, oh yeah, they're unique, they're great, and they are. But the thing is you're getting it from the mindset of somebody who has such a love and passion like we do, but in a way that's really, just really different. Perceiving things from a perception of, like, if you had the ability to watch the movie and be like, oh, I would like that piece in my collection, right? You have somebody who thinks that way and then actually puts it out, versus, hey, how do I contribute something to the masses that everybody will consume and eat up? And you're not dealing with that mindset, because then we'd have, we'd already have 3 or 4 Vader products from Regal Robot if that was the case.
Right.
And thankfully that's not the case. I mean,
nobody's doing these things, and that's another great thing about it, right? This is,
look at CZ. What would that, never in a million years would that happen? Never in a million years would that happen.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
When I remember when I first looked at it, I was like, what the hell is that? And then like two weeks later, it's like, I gotta have it.
We had our fun ripping on that thing.
Yeah.
And then seeing it in person, and I think me and Chris said openly, we said, you know what? We actually had some humor, ranking on that thing for a little bit. But then when you see it in person, you step back and you're like, wow, like, look at that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. And it's going to be interesting. I'm probably, I swear to God, I think this whole shelf right here is probably going to be Regal Robot eventually, because I'm going to put the Rancor up there. I'm going to have to start moving things around, and then I might try to fit this guy in there somewhere. And then,
you're not going to fit him into the case with the Mando stuff over your shoulder?
No, I'd have to shove him in there. Like, I'd literally have to dude, that NYC Mando is massive.
Yeah, I know.
It's so big. There's no space in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this might actually fit up there. That would be kind of cool. Next to the helmet.
The top shelf. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, next to the helmet.
What's next to the helmet? What's next to the helmet now, Matt?
The hot toy, the Mandalorian hot toy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other hot toys?
Yeah, I have some down here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could always put the Mando hot toy with them and put the.
Everything's going though. Everything's going. I mean, eventually everything's gonna go. I think.
You're right, though, Steve. The more I look at the statue, the more it going back to the episode, it's so silly how skinny and awkward looking they make him when you have this.
Yeah.
Great looking piece.
This piece corrects that mistake for me.
It does.
It corrects the mistake, and I'm pretty happy with it. Now we were talking with Chris the other night when he had his, and I think that he was I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he was a little bit let down after having opened up the Rancor. Right?
Well, it's totally different piece. I mean, I get it. I get that. I understand that. If to me, I'm glad this is happening now, because I'm getting the Rancor next week.
Afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, next Tuesday I think mine comes in or something like that. So I'm happy that I'm seeing this piece now, so I can kind of appreciate it for what it is, and then I can be, super excited for the Rancor. Both fantastic pieces, both very, 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 very different.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Totally
It's
different.
hard to come down off that high of that.
Yeah,
of
I get
that,
it.
that
I get
masterpiece
it.
and go to this. But honestly,
get it.
I'm glad I had it too, and it actually, for me, it exceeded my expectations.
Good.
I have learned from this that I really love that hand sculpted, hand painted look.
It looks cool. It does look
really,
cool.
It really does.
There's
it
a
for
different
me.
feel to it. There's a different look to it, and as we talked many times as well about where do you see collection going, where do you see collection progressing, and I had said it that one time, Matt. It's more, you get to a point where you're now curating a collection versus collecting your collection, and these allow for more museum style display pieces. To make it
saying my window needs to go. That's probably never not gonna
just need to cover it up, man. Just put a couple billies in front of it and be done with it.
Yeah,
I talked to someone today about I told you I'm gonna put these same type of shelves over here. So I talked to someone today about that, and so hopefully that'll be starting to happen.
About putting up shelves.
I'm gonna put these ones, the same ones over here.
Not getting rid of the window. You didn't talk to them about getting rid. Okay.
No, I would have to talk to my wife, and she wouldn't let me. There's no way. That'd be a problem.
It probably would be a fire code violation too. A room with no windows. Yeah.
Exactly. I actually would love that because I don't open the damn blinds anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I think eventually I'm just gonna be getting rid of these Detolfs and all this stuff. So I really like this. I love this situation.
That's another IKEA piece, right?
It is. It's called like a I don't know. It's called something.
That's one with the legs, right, Matt? It's got the 4.
Yeah, it's one with the legs. It's one of the legs. I love it. I love this thing because it actually keeps the dust out too. It like locks and it keeps the dust out. I freaking love it, and it looks really good. So I might take that and put it in our like media, our like garage/media room thing that we got going on over here. So I might try to actually transfer that whole thing over there. And then just have him in another room. I don't know. We'll see. I got to figure that out. But
so somebody mentioned before they were asking if Regal Robot is planning on making any of the other maquettes from that. Like, remember that long picture we saw? Didn't we see Tom make a comment on Facebook that they were thinking about doing more in the future? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't speak as to what it would be, but I can't see. Yeah. Especially Tom and his team with their mindset. I can't see the concept pieces stopping. I mean, there's no reason for that. Well, they're so amazing.
Yeah, they are. People love and people love them. So I think
it's also a lower price point option too. That's a nice thing because
you get something so
right
unique.
now you either got a $25 magnet for your fridge or a multi-$1,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
Hey, I said it the other day when opening the Rancor. I said, we all own Chewie, right? We all own Chewbacca Bus. It's such a sight for sore eyes. It's a magnificent piece. When I looked at the Tauntaun, so the thing is this: you look at Chewbacca and you say, "How do you top this? How do you?" Right? It's just so amazing. How do you top this? Every element that you look at is just beyond approach. So I look at the Rancor and I was like, "Wow." I think this is. I mean, it's still apples and oranges, but like this is how you top it. So it's just like it's always pushing that envelope,
Yeah.
For the next one and the next one, and that could speak as to why Chris may have been a little. Not as excited because that's quite a high open in that.
Well, guys, come on, like that's crazy. That's not a slam on Regal Robot. That's him opening an amazing piece from Regal Robot, and then opening that's very good piece, but it's totally different. Like,
right. But what I like about our chats when we get together to talk about these things is we can talk about, especially on the group therapy shows, right?
Yeah.
Is we can talk about the mentality, the things that go through your head as you're getting a piece, opening up a piece and all that. And I can understand for sure, like you just came off this huge high. You just took, you just got this amazing piece and now, okay, all right, now I'm just going to shift my head. I'm looking at a much smaller, much simpler maquette, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And I could see there being a little trouble there.
Yeah. And this, it could be eventually, it could be that the scale does come into play at some point and have, the maquette stuff just looks really small next to your pieces. I don't know. Like you might be able to make, Steve, you'd make it work like no one else does because you mix it up a lot. But for me, I don't know. We'll have to see. But
yeah, right now I'm keeping the two of them on the shelf together. The Java one and this maquette together with a picture behind them.
Yeah,
and
that's
a shelf for now.
I might try to throw them up there. Like
I'm hoping for a whole long line of these things. I'm hoping.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm on my 10th or 11th one.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Dude, his neck has diabetes. Like not the rest of him, but his neck does. This thing's got a fat neck.
Check out this string of comments here. So Rob says more maquettes are coming for sure.
Yeah.
And then Ken says, "Do tell Rob." And then Regal Robot says, "Don't tell Rob."
Rob, you can stay on after hours.
Well, and guys, you know what's awesome is that everyone here has to know that Regal Robot's coming out with cool shit. Oh. They're gonna come. You're gonna see some awesome stuff. I know we are. Hopefully, Jason. Obviously we can't say anything specific, but I know we're doing some sort of something with them in the future, with the product release. And
yeah, we'll see a product spotlight coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like I can't wait. It's so good. And so like that's the thing. Like Regal Robot does crazy stuff, and you're not gonna find it anywhere else. You know what I mean? So you're not gonna get this anywhere. You're not gonna get this anywhere else. No. That's what's so special, I think, about these pieces is, all the concept pieces might not be for you, but you might find one and whatever you're not gonna find it anywhere else. No one's gonna make it, because they do.
Custom. You can't even get customizers to make this stuff.
No, you can't. No.
They'll do the custom helmets. They'll do even like maybe hilts. But you can't find maquette stuff. It just, I mean, I could eat that stuff up all day. I mean, I love it because I'm the one who, like, I remember being little. See, I mentioned this before a couple times on the channel. As much as I love I know ESP tends to be everybody's favorite. Mine is Return of the Jedi. The reason being is at the time in which I was born, that was the first movie that was sort of out that I can comprehend and watch and understand. And it was kind of all the rage because it was the newest movie. All the figures were in the stores at that time for that particular one. So that's why I like the Jabba maquette. I loved it, and a lot of people were like, look at that thing. It's not very appealing.
It's so different. It's so different.
Yeah, but and just looking at something like that, being able to own that and have it in my collection, having it displayed next to a larger Jabba, and the fact that it was even made to the extent of uniqueness, quality, and innate detail that it was, I'm just over the moon about it, and I just can't wait for more to come down the pipeline.
No, I agree.
So let's see, Jason. You were talking about when you were born and your first exposure to Star Wars. For me, one of my earliest memories of Star Wars is Luke walking down that tunnel, easily dealing with the piggies along the way and stepping into Jabba's throne room. A Jedi, a no kidding Jedi in all black with his hood. And that to me is like one of my earliest memories of it. To this day, that's seared in my mind, that moment. So yeah, a lot of people don't have the love for Return of the Jedi, but for me,
that's my favorite.
For me, for sure, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, Matt, I'm guessing you're probably younger too, enough that Return of the Jedi is probably the
Return of the Jedi. When I, first of all, the beginning scene, dude, the Jabba's palace was amazing. The Rancor, like everything they did there was fantastic. It was so unexpected that to me, it's still when they start with C-3PO and R2-D2 and they're rolling up to the palace and that big eyeball comes out, like it's all so unexpected. And the spider
I would love
behind them,
one of those, man.
Yeah, I know. It's so cool, and I just love it. And then of course, me, it goes on to the freaking Ewoks, which is fantastic. I love that. And
Yeah.
beyond that, it's it's just such a good movie. I get it. I totally understand why people may not. It's not their favorite. I get it, but I love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Yep.
And
some
and the
more,
speeder bikes and indoor,
Yeah.
like it's got so much. It's
Huh.
got so much to enjoy.
for sure.
The speed of this, when I first saw that, as I got a little bit older and watched the movie, and my comprehension, became more, one of those things where I understood exactly what I was taking in. The speeder bike thing was one of those things where I was like, how, when I started thinking this way, like, how did they do that? Because you see how fast it's going. And ironically, never did I not realize this, but fast forward 19 years later, getting into production and sound design. What's interesting about that is a lot of the noises and background noises, especially during the speeder bike chase, where you hear like the echoing and it sounds like it's naturally echoing through the woods, like,
Yeah,
all that,
right.
and the screeching. Like Steve said, there's these certain parts that just stare in your mind.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, I've met so many people through the years that not only do we have this communal response of sharing the love and passion for Star Wars, as a movie, as a story, but there's also this thing where so many people had found career paths because of the
Right.
influence and impression that Star Wars had on them.
Right.
And that, I think, is another phenomenal feat. And not to sort of tangent off here, but one of the things, I have an aunt of mine, she's like, oh, I hated Star Wars in the 70s. I hate it today. I don't get it. It's this, that, and the other. And I said to her, I was like, this isn't because I'm a Star Wars fan, but this is fact. You know how many things wouldn't exist today if it wasn't for Star Wars? People who enjoy Pixar, people who use Pro Tools and Avid Technology and, THX and Dolby and all these things that came into play in order to make Star Wars what it was.
Yep.
It's just it's just really shook.
I mean, think about ILM. ILM came out of that, and they
and
make
look at all the movies. Yeah,
everything.
Look at all the movies.
They make everything. I mean, they do
from Jurassic Park to even the first what's that movie when he's fighting the card and he's like
Young Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like seeing that stuff for the first time, it's that wow factor, and it's never been done before.
Yeah.
So you have to have an appreciation and respect for it in and of itself, what it was able to do, and what it's continued to do 45, 46 years later, or whatever, how many years we are into it. But it's just wild. And being able to own things that are so unique and conceptual, or one-to-one, is great, because everything else is just sort of, they're not letdowns, but they're just the mass. You can just buy them whenever, wherever, however. And it's really unique. It's really fun. It's interesting, and it really, I feel like just how the movies did, what some of the things that Regal Robot are doing is kind of turning, the Collectorverse on its head a little bit and shaking things up.
Yeah.
And again, they're still new at it, but as they move along and release these amazing pieces, both at entry-level price points and whether it's a $3,000-$4,000 piece. However, I think as people get more used to that, people are going to start yearning for that a little bit more. They're going to start expecting from other companies a little bit better, more uniqueness and more diversity and whatnot. So
no, I agree, and I love that we have a company that is so well connected inside of Star Wars, ILM, Lucasfilms, all that stuff, like Regal Robot is, where they can scan original pieces and they can actually touch and feel some of these original pieces and give us what, basically the exact thing that you saw on screen or the concept piece or whatever. Like, that's crazy. And we're getting signatures from some of these people. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, I love that there's somebody doing that, right? Because it's just like we talk about this where I mean, look at EFX. Are we getting anything from EFX? Hardly anything, right?
Nope.
Yeah, and yeah, sure. No, we get a little bit here and there, but they're not making. No one's making stuff at the same. I think the same.
The EFX
quality.
is so underutilizing their.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Anovos is a shit show.
Well, Novos is interesting. If you bring that up, I went to their website. They've got 0 Star Wars in stock, 0 Star Wars that you can pre-order. all they have right now is interest lists.
Yeah.
And I have two Anovos helmets on order at Big Bad Toy Store.
I do too. I need to get my money back.
Have they cut those yet, Steve?
Huh?
Have they cut those yet? Some of the retailers are starting to cut their losses and either refund
So
or
what
just,
I don't know. What I did was I called them up a couple days ago. They're experiencing high call volume, and so I wound up doing an email where I basically said, "Look, let's get real here. You're never going to get this thing. They're never going to release it.
Mm.
Can I please have my deposits back on this thing? It's been 14 months since I pre-ordered it.
Right.
Now I know that there's people out there. I shouldn't be complaining. There are people out there that have their kids they had babies at the time, and now their kids are graduating high school.
Right.
Since they ordered that special helmet from Lenovo. So I get it, right?
That's true.
But I'm like, please give me my deposit back.
What did they say?
They've ignored me for the past 2 days, so I got to ping them again tomorrow and say, hello.
Let me know, because I need that too.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people are in that boat.
even Entertainment Earth, rather than pulling them, I just for curiosity, I don't have anything on order with them, but I just took a peek, and what they did was they just pushed back the dates by like 3 to 6 months, and I'm like, why push it back? It's they're not coming.
I think that these companies just don't want to cut that potential revenue. They're desperately holding on to it. And
Well,
like,
a lot of them
it's over.
consume pre-order money, and they don't want to pay it out. And
yeah,
so
that's another thing too. I mean, think about it. If you got like a few hundred deposits, it's hard to give that money back.
Yeah,
but I want it. We've got to get it back. It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You're not getting.
So yes, so Anovos is, as you were saying, Matt, Anovos is not really making anything great. Not making anything. EFX is limited to the occasional helmet, and they're underutilizing their license.
Yeah,
I mean, who is making really good licensed stuff? Hot Toys is making great licensed stuff. Regal Robot's making great licensed stuff. Who else?
There's a difference between making licensed, making great licensed stuff. I mean, we could say
XM's doing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Sideshow does make good stuff.
Yeah, but
it's hit or miss.
But even okay. So Sideshow disappeared for a little while in the premium formats. They're back right now.
Yeah,
they're kind of making that. But let's be real about the Sideshow stuff. It's kind of lately. It's been that.
Yeah.
It's been that. Hey, we're afraid to take any chances. Let's go with the absolute safest possible thing that we can make, and let's do completely uninteresting poses. Right. So the Sideshow stuff is not great stuff, in my opinion.
I'll tip my hat.
The Rancor was great that they did. Aside from that,
I'll tip my hat to Kotobukiya. They've been making some interesting stuff. That steampunk Vader,
that's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, the Mythos style Tuscan, the Maul, the one that. And I think that steampunk Vader is a line that they may potentially continue if all goes well.
Well, I mean, there's also Gentle Giants. Not my favorite, but they do consistently come out with stuff, and so there are some stuff. I think what's interesting, and this Donald Bryan brings it up, is XM's coming into they're going to start getting into Star Wars stuff from what we've heard, and then I keep hearing that Queen Studios might do the same thing.
If Queen Studios or Prime One start doing this, we're dead.
I know.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
I know, and I talked to Chris today, and we were talking about how I was trying to convince him to sell his Marvel Hot Toys. I try to convince him over and over again. But basically, I was just trying to talk him through like what he could sell and what he couldn't sell and all that stuff. And they're coming out with Hot Toys are coming out with so many Hot Toys. I was talking to him. I'm like, how are you dealing with this? Like, how are you going to deal with Marvel swinging back, getting back bigger? Too. Yeah. Like the Vision and the Scarlet Witch looked great. Like, how are you going to get back into this with Star Wars and Marvel Hot Toys, and then have all this awesome shit coming from freaking Regal Robot, all these other custom makers, like it's just like Sideshow's making some cool stuff. Like how do you juggle that?
You can't go after everything that is pretty.
It's crazy, man.
You
it's
gotta
crazy.
sometimes you just gotta, and that's the thing I'm struggling with on Hot Toys right now myself is I want these Regal robot pieces at the same time I want these Hot Toys.
I know.
And it's like, Steve, you can't have both. You just can't do it.
I know. That's the choice I had to make. I couldn't swing both of those things. And so it's like, well, and if XM and Queen Studios get it, I'm not going to be able to swing half the shit that's coming out. Like I'm going to have to like really, really, really be picky.
Dude, you're going to have to whore yourself out. But
I know.
It's a good thing. You're still young. You still.
I'm already kind of
it.
doing that. So like, it's fine. It's fine. Just gotta get tested. Just gotta get tested every now and then.
I could see you doing some like pole dancing sort of stuff.
Yeah, Sure. No, it's some light pole dancing. Yeah, it could be good. James says sell crack. Yeah, we'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out together.
We'll figure it out together. Yeah.
We'll figure out my side hustle. So guys, that's the Gamorrean Fighter. Fantastic piece. Really good, amazing piece from Regal Robot. Really
I don't think you held the plaque up. Why don't you hold the...
Yeah. So the plaque is...
Oops, I keep doing the wrong one.
The plaque is right here. Gamorrean Fighter 003.
There you go.
Yeah. It's cool. It's one of those like, the normal Regal Robot ones, kind of like the MR plaques. Pretty cool. So
hey, you know what I want to throw out there? You know what people might be happy to hear? So I hope I'm not doing this too prematurely, but Regal Robot or Rob, if you guys are still on listening, they're going to be doing a more affordable helmet stand, which is cool. Yeah.
When are they doing that?
Hold on.
Check this out. He thinks that every time he looks at Chewbacca now, he thinks of Frank Sinatra.
That's a good thing. Grievous, that's a good thing.
He's a handsome little Wookiee. But so they're basically, instead of the $50, $60 style helmet stands, I think they're roughly around maybe $19.99, $24.99 in the price range. Yeah. But it's good for continuity. So if you pick up a bunch of them, because I know some people do the paper towel thing, which works, but at $10, $12 or whatever, for a few dollars more, you just get a really, it's pretty standard. But the good thing is, instead of having to get like the styrofoam ball and sticking it on top, they actually did what, similar to what EFX did, with the clear acrylic circular plate.
Yeah.
It's probably maybe 4 inches in diameter, 3 inches. It's not that big, but it's enough to balance the helmet perfectly on the stand. So that might be a nice little treat for the helmet collectors looking for some continuity in their display.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
If Rob is watching this right now, Rob, man, I need my order of 10 helmet stands. Please. It's time. I want to convert all my helmet stands over to the RS stands type, So.
That's it. They got some good stands. I like their stands.
Yeah.
So everybody, that's it. But I also have behind me the NYC. The NYC TIE Pilot. I can open it. I can open off stream. Whatever. Like, do you guys want me to open that? Because I just got that in today as well. So we'll see what's up. But Regal Robot's saying they're aiming for $19.99 on those. Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
On what?
Yeah.
What again?
On the helmet stands. That's a great price.
It is, yeah. They're nice. I love that disc only because remember when we were doing our Bobas and everybody was talking about like the weight of it sort of going to the side? Yeah. Well, when I place it on that disc, which is pretty much the same, it just everything bounces perfect on it. It rests.
You got a picture?
Really well.
You got a picture of that helmet stand, Matt? Jason, anywhere nearby?
I don't know. Tom, if you have one available, if you want to shoot one over,
$19.99 for a helmet stand is a good price.
That's a great price.
It is, and it's nice looking. It's a nice dark color. It's not black, but it's like a darkish bronze. It'd probably be better if we do have a pick. But I just thought
I wasn't sure if it was public, if there were public photos of it or.
I don't have anything public. Like I just remember looking at it and
Probably
being like,
not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
the fact that you can grab 5 of them for roughly $100, give or take shipping. I mean, that's
that's
fantastic.
great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
It's just an eyesore when you have 5 or 6 pieces on display and they all have different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love uniformity in my collection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I'm switching to all RS stands, because I've got a half dozen of them already, and I want consistency. So
Yeah.
yeah, Matt looks like Matt's going to open up his TIE Fighter.
Oh, I think I might put this behind me, like back in there. I think you're right, Steve. That could look pretty cool up in there.
Yeah, I think so, man.
You guys, if you guys, Steve or Jason, if you guys ever come over my way and walk into my office, you're gonna be like, oh, it's small, and you'll like, it's so small, dude. I gotta be so creative on how I figure this stuff
Yeah,
out.
maybe we should all go out to San Diego and hang out or something.
I know, right? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Jay, let us know if you get any pick or anything on that.
Yeah,
I
if not,
will
I'm sure
start.
we'll
Let me figure out where to put this guy so he doesn't get. All right, give me 1 second.
All right. What's going on there, Jason? You've been focusing on your phone quite a bit. You buying something?
Yeah, I get some work stuff. No, actually, I got a so I'm just making sure I have all my ground covered before I take off, because I want to make sure that I got to jump on with you clowns Friday night, so make sure I'm available.
Yeah, looking
Right?
forward to another
So,
group therapy.
I gotta take my. What'd you say?
No, I was just saying, looking forward to the group therapy. That should be good.
Yeah,
Waiting
always
for
a good
Matt.
time. Always a good time.
Matt. Yeah. Guys in the chat, anything you want us to talk about while we wait for Matt to do what it is he's doing right now?
What do we get here? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm
okay.
excited
So far from open, it's hump day. Put an LED puck inside his helmets on the shelf to make it pop. That's interesting. It must just like kind
Remember
of
that
glow
Geico,
from the bottom of it. What's that?
remember that Geico commercial with the camel? Hump day. You remember that? The camel would walk around through the office?
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
I no, I do.
Sully, what they
I don't think it's as
from it.
funny in my mind as it is in yours right now, though.
Yeah. I just like the Geico commercial. I used to like when they had Daft Punk playing and the lizard would be breakdancing.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff like that.
So, Jason, when are we going to see a collection tour for you, man?
I'm thinking, honestly, for real, I'm thinking, well, I'm waiting on something specifically. It's a big piece from Tom and those guys. But other than that, yeah, I'm thinking maybe by this April, May, probably after I get some travel coming up. I got to be in San Fran at the end of this month, and then probably back in California in April.
Uh-huh.
So after that, yeah, and I think we'll be in California at the end of April. So after that, I think I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So,
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to fit a camera in that closet, or what do you think?
Yeah, I can fit a camera in there. It's a decent
In
size.
case people are wondering, I'm always busted Jason's chops about his collection being in his closet, because that guy Jason has more stuff in his closet than I have on display. I can
Storage.
guarantee you.
It's a storage unit, but it's like it's on premises. Yeah, I have a lot in there. But as I discussed before, it is not in a defense manner, but it's ironic how it happens. So I would be interested in a piece, and someone would be like, "Well, I got this and this as well, and if you buy all 3 pieces, I'll give it to you for this price." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, why not, right?" And I've done that so many times over the years. I just started accumulating all these pieces that I had.
What you're supposed to do in those deals is keep what you want and sell the rest. You just haven't sold the rest.
I don't have the patience, man. I hate dealing with people. It's better to just stick in my closet in case I want to display it at some time or another, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I hate when I'm selling to people and they don't send me their address, and then they don't send me payments, and it's like, ugh. It's like, fine, I'm just gonna ship it out, and maybe someday I'll get it.
Patience is a virtue, my friend. Tough being a busy man.
Yeah, no, I have like I don't know, I probably have a good 10 or 12 hot toys to sell now.
Oh, really?
I just need to find the time to list them on eBay, get them
I
out.
gave up on selling them. I hate shipping stuff and dealing with people and nickel and diamond. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's why you just do the 1 cent auctions, and they'll all go. It'll all be over with. You'll get a lot better than your going out of business sale prices that you like to sell
True.
things at.
Is Jason McGorham's Wonder or Hot Toys Emporium is like fantastic though. You got to keep that going.
I don't mind hooking some people up if they're like in the group or people that I know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I have no problem being like, oh, this thing's worth $5. I'll give it to you for $3.50. I really have no.
Wow. All right. Everybody's listening to that, right? You all ready?
No, seriously. I have one of those things where, I've enjoyed the piece, and if I'm getting close to retail or if I'm breaking even, then I'm fine with it. If I'm going a little above, I don't like when people purposely go out of their way and try to nickel and dime me. That's when it's different. If I offer you the deal, great, and you accept it and you're excited about it, fantastic. But if you come at me or you heard word of mouth, that I don't like. Or if there's a situation where I'm like, oh, I didn't realize the figure was much heavier or bigger than the average hot toy.
What if something's broken? Like, you have any like broken helmets or anything that you'd like to sell?
I had one piece that when I tried to sell it, it got broken in the process. But other than that, no.
No Vaders or anything like that you might want to.
No, that one's going in. That one's still going to be repaired. That's one of my favorite pieces.
You need to send that out to the doctor and fast.
But see, even for my own self,
be careful, Matt. Your fingerprints will get all over that base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a panel gloss finish.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. So it's a nice base.
It has a magnet where it actually has a magnet where the other foot goes. So it pegs in a magnet,
yes,
and then the other foot goes on a magnet also, which is
there.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This one was an easy unboxing. It was really nice to just pull it all out. I didn't have like a 10-minute battle to get the black foam out of the box. I actually left the black foam in the box when I unboxed this. Jason, when are you getting yours?
Which one?
Ty.
I've had it. I opened it yesterday.
Okay, yeah. Cool. All right.
I wasn't on the planet yesterday. After coming up from the anesthesia, I was out of it, but
Ooh, man, this is nice. Oh, that magnet's strong.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trexel says for a limited time, buy one get two free. I had one. All right. Why Matt's unboxing this? I gotta share some of my stories, okay? Just for pure humor.
All right.
It's one of those nights, right? Why not? So, like I said, if I offer the deal, and part of me, if my voice doesn't sound like I'm going through puberty, I had some stuff done yesterday, but if I offer the deal, great. If somebody comes to me trying to nickel and dime me, that I don't like. It's a turn off. If I have a situation where I had somebody who I've done business with a few times, I had a situation where shipping was about 3 times the amount I expected it to be, and I not realizing, because most hot toys have this sort of uniform weight and size of the box. This ended up being much bigger, more expensive. So I brought it up. And I got oh geez. And then they came to me wanting another deal, and I was like, well, when I charged you 20 for shipping and it ended up being 60, you kind of told me like, yeah, too bad, sucks to be you. Now you coming to me and you want another deal, like so I cut that off. And then I had another gentleman who actually went as far as to, and I don't want to name and flame, it's not what I'm doing here, but just to share some anecdotes. I had one gentleman who bought something from me at a great price, posted how happy and smitten he was over it. Everything went great and smooth. Thank you so much. This other guy was like, oh, well, you got yours, and this, that, and the other, and all bent out of shape. Well, what he failed to tell people was that he literally wanted to buy one, get one free. And you know what he did, Steve? I thought you were bad. he goes as far as to say, well, if I buy from Sideshow, I'm going to get $9.49 in points. And if I buy this, I'm going to get $7.16 in rewards. And that's technically same as cash. Well, no, it's not, because you can only use it at Sideshow. You can only use it on certain items.
So let's rewind here and talk about why I'm bad. Oh, is that what's going to go on here now, Jason?
No, I'm
you going to
teasing.
shit all over me about this?
No, I'm teasing. But
Hey, Jay, he shits all over you. You can shit all over him sometimes.
Yeah, of course. It's all mutual love, right?
Dude, look at that.
Still,
ass. Look at that.
And I
ass,
said that
dude.
the other night. I said he
You
must
bounce
work out.
petty off of it.
Dude, that is tight right
That's
there.
I
Woo!
said the other night. I said he must work out. Look at that tush.
Yeah. So
That's a tight ass.
Matt, I saw you really spending a lot of time when you put that first arm on.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind there?
It wasn't sitting right.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like out like this.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to kind of adjust it a little bit to get it really in there.
What do you think about it now that you think you've got it in all the way?
I think it looks fine. I mean, you can definitely see the seams, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's always going to be.
I was a little bit disappointed with the shoulder seams. I hadn't noticed that when Chris unboxed it. And for me, his right shoulder is not as good as the left. And it looks like in your case it's the other way
this
around.
one?
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah, mine's slightly the other way around. Does your hand actually go over top of the buckle, like inside like fully over the buckle? Do you know?
Yeah. Here,
Like this hand?
My thumb dips in a little bit behind it.
I'm gonna have to take another look.
My thumb just rests on the buckle itself.
Yeah.
And then everything else is almost touching it. I guess it's fine. This is like we're not gonna nitpick this to death. It's fantastic.
Sure. I just think that the shoulder joints could have been hidden a little bit better than they are.
I guess. I mean, the problem you have to. The thing is, like, it is along the seam of the suit, so it doesn't really bother me.
Is he wearing a vest? Are you telling me that there's a natural seam there? Is that what you're saying?
It looks like there is a sort of like, you can tell there's like what's it called, stitching right here.
Yeah.
So I think to me it doesn't bother me, but I hear what you're saying.
So take a look at the backside of that shoulder, right?
Yeah.
That shoulder you were just looking at. Notice how it goes like at a different angle.
Yeah.
And it's
like
all
it's
smooth.
like poofed out. It's like kind of poofed out a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird the way that it's almost like it's not textured too. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, right here.
Right there. It's like
the little extra. Yeah, I noticed it. Yeah.
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 I think that maybe if it was textured and didn't do that, it would be a little bit better. But I mean, that's everything's got to have an imperfection.
Yeah.
What do you think of it in general?
Oh, it's amazing. Like it's beautiful. Like I know people. I've seen people unbox this. Obviously, Chris and then Thor, I think, unboxed it, and it's pretty, man. It's really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's got such good attitude to it, and I'm looking at the holster. I don't mind that it's brown. It doesn't bother me.
It didn't bother me at all. I probably wouldn't even have thought about it if it hadn't been mentioned.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all that he's got the gun in the other hand as his whole.
It bothers me a little bit, and I don't know if that's. Well, you know me. I'm always thinking about the physics of things. There is such thing as a cross drawer, right, where you reach across your body and pull it out of the holster. But I would have expected the holster to be reversed. So I kind of wonder what the reference art was for this, and if it was on the other hip or not.
You know what I thought about that?
Gun looks so good though. It's so like. It's just so sick, dude.
Yeah, Hasbro, right?
Oh, I love it.
It's cool.
I love it.
So for the reference pieces, Steve, one thing I've noticed, especially watching a lot of Hot Toys, those little 2-3 minute behind the scene documentaries, a lot of the images that they look at are flipped. They're mirror images. So if it's principal photography, it's flipped. So the holster might have been on one side, and they just said, okay, for the pose, I'm going to put the gun. So they generally may have been using a reference of a TIE pilot where the image is flipped. I see a lot of them of like Luke, and even there's a Joe Johnson image where he's like painting Boba Fett's helmet, for Return of the Jedi,
Mhm.
and it's reversed. So if you look at the Topps card, it's facing one way, and then if you look at the actual
Oh,
photograph,
they do all that sort of trickery when they're creating the cards or like the card backs
Yeah.
on figures and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you gonna put the chest unit in, Matt?
Yeah, I'm just looking at these tubes. These tubes are really cool looking.
2 tubes, right?
Yeah.
2 tubes.
Jimmy 2 tubes.
It took me a little while to figure out the orientation, but it wasn't too hard. Yeah, see? There we go. I'm the coupon guy.
Steve is that coupon guy. No, seriously, this guy was trying to like play the whole, well, I can buy it on Mercari for this much and I can get it for that much. I'm like, well, then go there and buy it. And then when he started bringing in the sideshow rewards points, I'm like, man, yeah, you're reaching now. You're reaching. And I was giving him a good deal to begin with. And it's funny too, because one of the pieces he wanted to buy, like literally went waitlisted, like as we were in the process. And then he was all livid because he couldn't get it anymore because everybody like was, starting to scalp and flip the piece for double and triple.
Yeah.
And then there's I don't know. That's what turns me off. I didn't mean to cut you off, but also
No.
too, like I said, hey, you can communicate with me directly. I had like a fake number. It was like one of those Google numbers. It was being all sketchy, and I'm like, and then you're trying to call me up? Like, see you later.
That's why, man. Penny auctions. Penny auctions take care of it real easy. It's gone in a week. What are you thinking, Matt? Having trouble getting the tubes on?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here.
And you can put them on with just. You don't need to take anything off to put them on. They'll go on.
I'm just trying to figure out the orientation.
So the one on his right will really flare out because he's turning his head a little bit.
Right.
So the one on his right flares out a bit.
Okay.
The one on the left is shorter. So the shorter one's on his left, the longer one's on his right.
I see it now. Okay. It's happening. It's happening, guys. Whew.
Okay. Let's see. There you go.
Yeah, that's badass, dude.
And when did you think you'd ever see a TIE pilot that was just like OG?
Yeah, it's nice. Where are you going to put it, Matt?
I don't know. Running out of room, guys.
I have
No,
the
it's-
same.
Matt, move the desk into the hallway and just put the
Well,
rest of the pieces.
it's because I don't have the shelves up, right? Until I get like more shelving up, it's like I have a wall here that has nothing on it. You know,
So Matt, I have to say, you posted a picture of of your artwork that's on the wall out in the hallway. I had a chuckle because what you're doing is you're slowly leaving your office and encroaching on the rest of the house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think that if you put a little side table, right, in the hallway, you could probably put a piece or two out in the hall.
You don't got kids, bro.
As long as it's well protected. I have kids.
I have little kids. I have little girls that push like Barbie doll shit through the hallway, and like they play all kinds of dumb like whatever. Like it ain't happening, man. If I put a statue out there, that thing's gonna last all of like a week.
So put out like a weathered helmet or something.
Yeah,
and we'll get. But I guess what I'm saying is you could probably work your way out.
This is pretty.
The mouse droid.
I mean, it's a pretty decent sized mouse droid, dude.
It is.
It's so cool. Oh, I think I have some. I think I have some of these pieces that broke.
Really?
I'll have to fix maybe.
Really? Broken pieces on the
What
droid?
Yeah.
broke?
See, look.
No, that's not broken. No, the mouse droid shouldn't have all the little prongs on it.
Well, you see how it's white? Is that where it's broken, Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, those white areas are like the actual material that's not painted now.
I was gonna say I gotta
It's-
check
it's- I
mine
think-
because mine doesn't have prongs.
I think I found one of them here. Let me see. Let me figure out where. Gosh, they're small. I'm gonna have to figure out if I can find
Yeah,
all
do it
of them.
later, man. Just do it later. Just save the pieces and Get some tweezers out.
He doesn't have Zap-A-Gap in his back pocket like you, Steve.
Dude, I have Zap-A-Gap, and I'm...
Yeah, but it's not in your back pocket 24/7.
No, it's not, but I do enjoy using it.
Zap that gap.
Who mind zapping that shit? Dude, this is sick, man. It's a really good statue.
I know it has me that much more excited for Enfys.
It's really good, man. I really like it. Did you love it, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's a great statue.
That's fantastic.
I'm not as over the moon about it as you guys are.
Yeah.
I think it's a great statue, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, you just like his ass.
Dude, that freaking tight
That's
ass,
a tush.
bro. Look at
That's
that
a
shit. Look at that shit. That is some
Dude.
tight ass.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
Tight tie ass. I love that tight tie ass. That's freaking awesome, man.
No, what I like, Steve, I like the simplicity of it. That's why I enjoy that piece.
Mm-hmm. But I'm like Matt. I don't know where I'm putting it. It's like
Mine's already up in my closet.
I've got space where I could put it. It just doesn't make sense where it goes.
Jason already put it inside his closet and shut the door. Yeah, that I have no idea where I'm gonna put this thing. That's like I know where the Rancor is going. It's going up there. I'm gonna move Shakti somewhere, and that's because I still have a space back here. Like I still have a bottom detolf shelf, so I can put something there. So then maybe the TIE pilot will go there. And then Shakti's got to go somewhere.
You could probably fit a hot toy between the vanes of that air filter and just tape it down if you need some more space.
Which air? What are you talking about?
The rotating air filter that you've got behind you.
Oh yeah.
You could fit a hot toy in there as a shelf if you're really desperate for space.
I don't know where that thing's gonna go once I have shelves in there. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I've got some. We'll see. It's eventually I might be able to open up some space in our other room here, in our other area where we have games and like movies and stuff. So that might happen, but that's not going to be for a while. So got to figure it out.
All right.
And if not, I'm going to have to freaking start trading shit out, I guess. I have no idea. I mean, Steve literally doesn't have to think about this. Like, I don't think, Steve, you have ever thought about this.
I don't know that that's true. I don't know that's true.
What?
When you run out of display space and you got to do something. I mean,
oh man, yeah, that could be an interesting.
That's where
that's an interesting place to be is when you're putting statues.
See, in my situation, instead of the floor, my things go up because I got like 22-foot ceilings, so they just keep going higher and higher and higher. That's how I drop things.
Yeah,
I'm up on a ladder, like this will look good here.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you put a DTOF on top of a DTOF, Jason?
No, but I put them on top of the Vesta units.
Oh, he can do it. He can do anything. Eventually, I will have space because all of this stuff will crumble in an earthquake, and so like I'll have plenty of space to start collecting more.
The only thing that'll survive are your helmets. Everything else will burn.
Totally. All these helmets will be fine. The freaking snow trooper. I think the Chewie would be fine. Actually, to be honest,
Chewie would be fine.
CZ3 will make it. But everything else is just going to crumble, I think. See what happens.
The rate we're going, everything's going to be virtual anyways, right? All our
totally.
Will start turning into NFTs.
Collecting collectibles. The collectibles online or digital collectibles. Can you imagine? What's interesting is that the head sculpt, the helmet was already on the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, one less seam to come on to be there, and
totally.
One more swappable piece. No, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
So, want to wrap it up, Matt?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. What's coming up next? Is group therapy? The next show?
Group therapy Friday.
We have anything that we can announce for next week yet?
Yeah, we got to collect the spotlight next week. We got a great lineup of collect spotlights over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, what's coming up next week, Jason?
Next Tuesday is Gabriel from Star Wars Replicas.
Mhm.
Nice.
That'll
Okay.
be
Yep.
fun.
So he'll be on Tuesday evening.
Okay. And then, do we have anything for the end of the week? I can't remember. Hopefully, you know what? I will be. Well, I kind of want to open my Rancor online, even though we've already done an unboxing. I still kind of want to open it. I don't know. We'll see. I like.
Yeah,
I
let's
like.
let's see your response. I want to see you chingo.
Exactly. I want to open it with everybody, and I mean, Steve's not gonna wait, so that's totally
No
fine.
way. No way.
But you know, if I get it, maybe we can do something.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm ever doing an unboxing again. I took so much shit about my camera.
I know.
Forget about it, man.
It wasn't your camera. It was your internet.
My internet was getting 160 megabits per second, so I don't think it was my internet.
Maybe it's your computer. Maybe it was just your computer couldn't.
It might be. It might very well be
Yeah.
the laptop I was using. But
Yeah, that's very possible.
yeah, that's gone. I'm scarred. I'll never do it again.
I know you're scarred, and you know what? That's okay. You tried, and that's the important part.
Hey, you gave the old college try. That's all that matters, right?
That's right. But otherwise, yeah. Anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else next week other than that.
Oh, ow, that hurts.
Oh,
Miguel says, but we want to see what a broken Rancor looks like.
Oh, what a sad life.
It was not 144p. I can guarantee you that.
It was so fun, dude. I swear to God, the pixels,
this was
the
not
pixels
an
were this-
invitation to make fun of me.
the pixels were this big.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh,
It
no.
was not.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Hey, you know what was awesome? I was going to your full screen and showing the statue, and I almost couldn't tell it was a statue. It was like,
give me bullshit.
Steve, did you hear what we said, me and Matt? Were like, remember when you were a kid and you had like the old cable box and you try and get the 30 channel and it was all like squibbly?
Yeah.
And
You
you're like,
guys,
I
you
see
know what
something.
you guys are? You guys are camera elitists.
yeah, we are.
That's what you are. You're camera
That's
elitists.
true. That's true. He's looking at Brian says it wasn't 144, it was 44.
Mm,
Oh my gosh.
That's bullshit. Ah, fuck it. I think it's time to wrap this up because everybody's interpreting this as make fun of Steve.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not
I'm
make
fine.
fun of Steve.
I'm fine. Fine.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks everyone for hanging out. We will be back on Friday. Friday's gonna be a fun one.
This one's good though. Steve should make his new series called 8-Bit Unboxings.
where you have to guess what he's unboxing. Yeah, you can't. He's not gonna tell you. You have to guess. Yeah. So, guys, we'll be hanging out on Friday. Come and join us. Should be a lot of fun. I don't know, Steve, what you got for the lineup on Friday, but I'm sure there's something good to talk about.
Yeah, there were plenty of things this week, so it'll be a decent show.
Good. Okay.
I don't think there was much Hot Toy news. Oh, the only Hot Toys news that there was Vision and
Scarlet Witch and Vision
and Scarlet Witch. I figured we could talk about that a little bit, if only to make Chris happy.
Yeah. Did you actually finish the show, Steve?
No, I haven't watched anything since episode 5 yet.
Yeah, you gotta watch that.
I'll get there.
Okay. Well, guys, Michael, thanks for another awesome statue. Fantastic. Regal Robot, thanks for the great concept piece. Really cool. We'll see you guys again on Friday, and in the meantime, we'll see you in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, folks.